your childhood dream was to be an animator. How does your knowledge of animation help you prepare for your voice acting? You know the other side of the process as well.
That's an awesome question. I've actually never been asked before. Thank you. Yeah, so it helps me in that, kind of going back to what I was saying about locking in the character, when I'm reading a script, I really picture it like an animated show. I think about like how I would storyboard it out. So for me, it's sometimes more about the visual acting than it even is the acting, in my mind at least, how it's informing me. So it's a great help that I know the process. And I often even sit on when I'm standing there, I will doodle Mickey in different facial expressions depending on the scene that I'm reading too. So it's very helpful. Yeah, thanks. Hi.
Hi, I have a question about how long did it take you to master or get the voice of Mickey down pat?
I would say that in some ways I'm still learning to master it. I think it's probably going to be a process for the rest of my career. I would think, but like as a kid, my favorite thing to do was listen to Disney soundtracks. Fantasmic being one of them, and that has a slew of Disney voices in it, character voices, and so I would impersonate a lot of those characters. Mickey Mouse was the one that just really stuck for me. I remember there's some tonal quality that made me think, I think I kind of sound like him. So yeah, I was just kind of doing fun, silly impressions for years. I can't even tell you how long. But then it really was like when I took this job in 2009, I'd say probably, so far, probably half of my career has been spent just like focusing on getting that voice. And it's funny, Bill Farmer one time said to me, do you feel like you're thinking about performing the voice? I said, yeah. And he goes, in a few years, that's gonna pass, and you won't think about making the sound, you're just gonna think about the character. And at the time, I remember thinking like, yeah, right. I'm so paranoid every time I go in, like, will it come out today? But it's true, I don't think about, like I said earlier, I don't think about that anymore. So I think, yeah, I don't know if I can give you a number, but I'd say a very long time, and I probably will still always think about it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
I have a question about Epic Mickey. Was it true that you were originally going to voice Oswald before the role was handed over to Frank Welker, and did you know who Oswald was before the game?
If it was true that I was going to voice Oswald, I was not made aware of that. Nobody ever asked me to voice Oswald. As far as I know, Frank was always kind of the first choice for that role. I worked pretty close. I'm pretty close with the vocal director who worked with us on that game, and she, I think, was the one who said, Frank Welker would be perfect for this, which he's so talented, it was a perfect fit. Mm-hmm. Was I aware of Oswald? Yes, because again, I've been such a Disney fan my whole life. Every book report I ever did in elementary school was about Walt, so of course I knew who Oswald was. Yeah, and it was fun to be part of that game where they finally, like these two brothers got to play together. It was fun.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Greg, how's it going?
Hi, Greg.
I might be wrong here, but it shows that you were the voice actor for the Kingdom Hearts Mickeys.
I was starting with Birth by Sleep, I believe was the first one I did.
So you didn't do the first one?
No, Wayne Allwine did the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And so then when he passed away in 2009 is when I took over, and I think we did Birth by Sleep, I think it was like 2010. I don't know.
Right,
Somebody have to. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so Birth by Sleep was the first one I did.
So
yeah.
Did you request those roles, or did they bring them up to you?
They brought them up to me because so when I was cast, I was cast as the official voice of Mickey Mouse, meaning anytime there's a Mickey project, I get called. So, okay. So I'm basically I'm in LA waiting for the call for the schedule to come out where they'll say, today we're recording Kingdom Hearts. On Tuesday we're going to record a show for Paris Disneyland. On Wednesday we're going to record Mickey and the Roadster Racers. So it varies all the time, but no, I didn't request it. It's just part of the gig.
They just throw it on.
Yeah, to be a part of that, yeah.
And then you didn't get to voice Kingdom Hearts 3, though.
I did, yes.
You did?
So I've done everything from Birth by Sleep forward in the Kingdom Hearts world. Awesome. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, absolutely.
I'm excited then. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're excited too. It was a long time coming, but we finished recording on that, I want to say last month or 2 months ago. Yeah.
Can you tell us all about it?
Yes, I will. Okay, for this crowd only, as long as no one is videotaping, I will give you a spoiler. But you have to promise you won't tell anyone. Promise?
Promise.
Okay. Mickey Mouse is in Kingdom Hearts 3.
I knew it.
Yes. He plays King Mickey. You're welcome. That's all I remember.
To me, Mickey Mouse, there are like two different Mickey Mouses. One that's in cartoons, the other in Kingdom Hearts. Do you think there's a different mindset into voicing King Mickey versus the cartoons?
Yeah, there is a little bit. You know, Mickey himself is an actor, which is funny as an actor playing an actor, but he can morph into so many different roles. So when I approached Kingdom Hearts, you know, I of course watched whatever I could of Wayne's performances in Kingdom Hearts, and saw that he approached it a little bit different. Mickey is a very authoritative leader. He is aware of his status in that world, and he's protective in a way that's different than just protecting his pals. He's like there to fight. So yeah, it's I hate to say aggressive, but it's a little bit more of an aggressive Mickey. I just kind of imagine, you know, like if I was in that situation and the Heartless were coming after me, like what would I have to do to you know, it's different than dealing with a buffoon like Pete. So yeah, there's a different approach for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
question.
Hi, I didn't introduce myself first one. Hi, I'm Alyssa.
Hi,
and
Alyssa.
Second question I have is, you try to copy Wayne and Disney as much as you can, but how much customizations are you like allowed to have? Like,
You know, I don't think it's so much about the allowance of the customizations. The you know, any voice actor will tell you, especially when you're doing a legacy character like this, is innately you take on parts of the character and the character takes on parts of you. That's not to say that I'm trying to inform. I'm not trying to make Mickey my own version. Mickey is Mickey, and I want to be as true to Walt's version as possible. Jimmy McDonald, who was the second voice, was quoted in an interview and told Wayne, when Wayne took over the role, he said, "Remember, kid, you're only filling in for the boss." And that was the thing. Jimmy took over as the voice of Mickey only because Walt got so busy. He one day literally said, "I'm too busy, call Jimmy." And Jimmy was the sound effects guy at the studio, and so he just kind of took over voicing Mickey. So it's this mindset of, you know, I don't own Mickey at all. Mickey's not mine. I'm Mickey number 4. There will be a Mickey number 5. I'm playing a very small part in keeping this character alive. And so I hope that I am doing the character justice by just preserving what is already Mickey, you know, what we know of Mickey from what Walt created. That's not to say that, you know, I'm sure parts of my personality probably start to weave in there a little bit. I think Wayne really informed a lot of the character, because each of us are going to be approached with projects that have never been done before. So, you know, you have to kind of take what you know of the character and then inform it with what you know would be fitting for him moving forward. So it's a little symbiotic in a way.
I think you've done the character justice.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Very kind.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Nice
Good to see you again.
Oh, good to see you too. I was wondering, what was it like meeting Tetsuya Nomura, and what has Kingdom Hearts taught you while doing Kingdom Hearts?
Well, I don't think I ever got to meet them.
Oh, you know. Oh.
No, you know, when we work on these projects, we're in a studio in Burbank, and a lot of times they're all on the phone, and it's hard to know who's there. I don't speak Japanese, so there's always a translator there who's essentially telling me what's happening. But it's been the biggest takeaway I've had from Kingdom Hearts is to see how much attention to detail and how much care they really put into these games. Square Enix really is devoted to making this the best thing that they can, respecting the whole Disney universe, but then bringing in their own flavor. So it's a pretty cool thing to be a part of, yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
And the fact that the fans love it so much is also really cool.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. We can take one more if somebody wants to. We'll even take a hand if you do. Going once, going twice. What kind of social media outlets can we follow you on if we don't already?
Oh, I am awful at social media, but the one place you can find me is Instagram because I like pictures. So Bret Iwan VO is where you'll find me on Instagram.
Awesome.
I will try to post to it more often. I don't post to it. But follow me because I would love to be verified. Right now, Instagram doesn't believe me.
You should be verified.
No. Well, 1,600 followers doesn't get you verified. They're like, who is this guy?
What do you say, Louisville? Let's spread the good word of Bret Iwan. What do you say?
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
And I just want to say, you know, I've sat with Tony, and I've sat with Bill, and now I've sat with you. So I can now say I've shared the stage with Donald, Goofy, and Mickey. This has
Oh,
been a
gosh.
pleasure. Thank
Hey.
you, brother, for hanging out.
Us-
Yeah,
I-
that's-